Starting lesson 1.2, Geometric Sequences. Our target for the day is recognizing and completing geometric sequences. We have three vocab terms. One is sequence, which is an ordered list of numbers. A term is a number in a sequence or a pattern. You might recognize the the vocabulary word term, from when we were doing algebra, and a term was any part of an algebraic expression or equation. So for example, in 3x plus 2, both 3x and 2 are both terms in that expression. Similar here, a term is a number in a sequence or pattern. A geometric sequence is a list of numbers created by multiplying the previous number or term in the sequence by a common ratio or number. So basically we're going to start with a number and then multiply it by the same number every time. You might recognize that as well, but we'll get to that in a minute. The number you multiply each time to get the next number or term in a geometric sequence is called the ratio. So we're still talking about ratios. It'll be the ratio between one number and the next, one term in the sequence and the next. The ratio can also be found by writing the ratio of each number to its previous number. So what is the ratio between this number and the next number in the sequence? And we'll do that in the examples. For example 1, we're going to find the ratio of each geometric sequence. We'll use the ratio to find the next two terms in the sequence. So starting with part A, we have the numbers 1, 3, 9, and 27, followed by an ellipsis, ... meaning the sequence continues, but we don't know how yet. So, hang on just a second. To find the ratio, divide one term or number by the previous term or number. So, previous meaning the one before it, we're going to pick two terms and divide the later one by the one before it. In this case, we've got 3, which comes before 1, or comes after 1, 9, which comes after 3, and 27, which comes after 9. We're going to divide them by the number before it. When we divide 3 by 1, we get 3. We divide 9 by 3, we get 3. We divide 27 by 9, and we get 3. So the ratio of this geometric sequence is 3. To find the next two terms of the sequence, we multiply the previous term by the ratio, which we found out was 3. So our last term in our sequence is 27, so we're going to multiply that by 3. Our next term in the sequence is 81. Then we'll multiply 81 by 3, and we'll get 243. Those are our next two terms in this geometric sequence. Now we have another geometric sequence, 256, 64, 16, 4. You'll notice that these numbers are going down. They're getting smaller each time. So our ratio is going to be, well, we'll find out in a minute, but if you know it already, go ahead and keep that in your head. To find the ratio, divide one term by the previous term. We already covered that. We're going to do it again, even though we're going to be dividing a smaller number by a larger number because every previous term is larger than the one after it. Now we have a bunch of fractions. We know how to divide fractions like this. To divide 64 by 256, we can just simplify the fraction. In this case, we can divide and simplify all the way down to 1/4. If you don't remember how to simplify a fraction, simply find a common factor and divide both top and bottom by that common factor. If we divide 64 by 256, we get 1/4. If we divide 16 by 164, we get 1/4. And if we divide 4 by 16, we get 1/4. Meaning that if we were to divide 4 into 16 pieces, each piece would be 1/4. The ratio of this sequence, using the method we just used, is 1/4. So, to find the next two terms, we will multiply the previous term by the ratio, which we found was 1/4. So, we'll start with 4 and multiply it by 1/4. 4 times 1/4 is 1. 1 times 1/4 to find the next term is 1/4. The next two terms in the sequence are 1 and 1/4.